Max.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Things are
bleak.
Things are weird today.
Yeah.
Things are really crazy.
Yeah.
Last night was a crazy night.
What night are you talking about?
I'm talking about election night. There's 3 words that I never thought I'd hear in my lifetime. President-elect Trump.
Yeah.
It's surreal.
Yeah.
I saw him give his acceptance speech. I literally thought it was an SNL skit. It was absolutely surreal. America just became a reality show.
Yeah.
And anyway, we'll see what happens, but it is kind of mind-blowing.
No, we have to get into this whole thing.
Well, you know, it's...
you have to face it head on.
You have
You're
to face
stammering.
it.
You're in shock.
I am.
You can't breathe.
No.
Things aren't right. You
No.
woke up in a new world today.
It is a new world.
Right.
It's kind of a...
I have friends who have compared it to 9/11.
Well, you want this country to go forward, but we're kind of going backwards.
Right.
You know, but I am pulling for the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the country more than I like or dislike the
That's
president.
what you have to do as an American.
I hope he doesn't fuck up.
Hope he doesn't fuck up.
I want him to do good things.
Listen, all I know is so far he's picked a guy who does not believe in climate control to run like climate control or something. So this is already off to a terrible start. Listen to me. First of all, I have a different kind of relationship to Donald Trump than all of my friends do. Like, I have so many, I mean hardcore liberal friends who the first thing they do is scream and cry and rant and slam doors and declare that they're moving to Canada. Canada doesn't want our sorry asses, this we know. Canada's got its own deal. Let's not pollute Canada. Let's stay here where it's beautiful,
right,
and keep trying to just get better, even when we are knocked down with a Trump situation. So, what was I talking about?
You're talking about let's not give up hope.
Yeah.
And let's not move to Canada.
Right. I'm talking about Trump. So, this is a guy who, years ago, hosted his very own reality show called The Apprentice.
Right.
Anyone who's watched The Apprentice knows the premise. You're trying to get a job working for Donald Trump in his organization. And I watched that show religiously for years. And I got the biggest kick out of him. I thought he was hilarious. I thought he was charitable, because a lot of times, especially with the later show, Celebrity Apprentice, what Apprentice became, they would basically get all of the D to F list celebrities together, and they're all competing against each other to raise money for charity. And when it got to that show, Trump was charitable as fuck. Like, if they raised $500,000 for cancer babies, he'd say, I'm going to double that. Not every week,
right,
but he would. And the next thing you know, you're sitting there with the cancer babies, and they're handing over a check
and
for
he would actually do
$1 million.
It wasn't just something he said and it was a false promise.
And he was, especially again with Celebrity Apprentice, like when it came to women, when it came to the minority players, like Dennis Rodman. Trump and Rodman were good friends. Yes, Dennis is a blithering wreck, but I still have a little place in my heart for Dennis. Even if he goes down to, North Korea, I don't know what he's doing down there, but I still have a little place in my heart for Dennis.
Right.
But he's not because of the Chicago Bulls.
But he's also on the show because
he's on the show.
He's a train wreck.
He's a train wreck, and he's a very, very compelling character. Mm-hmm. And it got to the point where I was loving Dennis so much that I would watch Dennis on Celebrity Rehab. I would watch these junky reality shows.
Right.
But mostly Apprentice.
But don't you think, and I've never seen the show.
Yeah.
So I am only getting this information from you. Do you think now that he's president of the United States, this country might, in a way, there might be now a new layer of it where we become a junky reality show?
Absolutely. But the problem is, and the thing that continues to confound me is I don't know when he became this version of Trump. Because I think that this is a guy who's clearly a performer. He's clearly a chameleon because, the memes are out there. The stories are out there about how he was extremely liberal in the day, and you've got 10,000 pictures of him partying with the Clintons, and you don't know what to think.
Right.
And all of a sudden, he becomes this raging maniac talking about building walls and kicking out Mexicans. Who's going to do all these horrible jobs?
But he's just a symbol. He's just a symbol of change. And I get that. I totally down with change, and not just change for change's sake.
Right.
But he was just the guy who was not the career politician like she was. So America said, you know what, we're going to try this guy. And that's part of our system.
And
which
they're
is,
saying we're going to try this guy because
he's just different.
I'm trying to understand all of this.
That's impossible.
Yeah. But I think one of the things I've heard with the Trump happy people is that they want to see this country run like a business. Okay. I don't know how that's going to be executed. I don't really have the biggest head for business, so I don't really know how that's going to work, you know? But what is a president? A president it's a wax dummy that stands up there and talks.
Kind of a figurehead. I mean, there are important decisions.
Right.
Congress still does everything.
Right.
You know, so Donald Trump is going to nominate a Supreme Court person.
Right.
Congress still has to approve the person. So,
exactly.
But he definitely can go out there and say, I want this person. And obviously now that both Congress and the president are Republican, there might get shit done. It might not be the shit that we want, but at least if Hillary was elected, you know that nothing was going to get fucking done. So
listen,
is
that how you feel?
Yeah, they would. If she said, I want to see if we can still keep Tuesday, the name Tuesday, they would say, no, we're going to call it Tuesday.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Florgasburg or whatever.
Do you want to say who you voted for? Did you vote for Hillary?
Yeah, I voted for Hillary.
I did too.
Yeah, that's okay.
But not enthusiastically.
Well, no.
I was a major fan of Bill. I don't give a fuck about stained dresses or cigars.
The fact that
he was an amazing president in my lifetime.
Yeah, and he would have been, first man. So you would have gotten 2 for 1.
Yeah,
but it didn't go that way. So
I remember having no fear. But here's the thing, man. Here's the thing with events like this that are, for lack of a better word, epically traumatic for a nation. Especially the ones that don't want this guy. And I happen to be one of them that don't want this guy. But I love that you said we still got to get behind him because he's our pres.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave this country.
You got to love the country. Right.
And root for him and hope he does a good job, whatever.
Yeah.
But God damn it. Fucking Facebook, man. People think that they can post their thoughts and views, and they can. But when people disagree with them, even people on their friends list, it turns into these epic 9-paragraph fights where no one is coming to any middle ground. No one's listening to each other. Everyone's just trying to slap their own pile of shit up against the wall of who created the wall of sound? Phil Spector?
Yeah.
This is a wall of no sound because no one's listening. I don't know what that meant.
It's I'm right and you're wrong, and I'm going to shove my opinion down your throat. And if you disagree with me, you're a fucking douchebag.
Oh, my God. And as no one's listening, and what's the point? So you get to that, and I've even participated a little bit in the, believe me, I am the last political person you want to talk to because my head is in the sand so often. I'm trying to learn. I read the paper. I wake up every morning. I'm following the news. I know the basics, but some of my friends know things that, like, how do you have time to learn about something that happened 15 years ago that's completely innocuous that you keep using as your weapon of reason as to why Hillary's a cunt? It blows my mind. And so I gotta withdraw.
I don't even do Facebook.
I gotta step off.
Give it a break.
I gotta take a break.
You probably have Facebook fatigue. Also, I'll get above your left eyelash. You have a little bit of sand.
Sand?
Yeah, because your head's in the sand.
You idiot! You had me actually touching my eyebrow, worried that
because you're a moron.
Yeah. Ignorance is bliss, brother.
I'm burnt out of all this shit.
Yeah.
But it
only just happened.
It just happened. It was an amazing, weird, surreal, crazy night.
Are you wandering around in a fog?
No. I thought Americans are interesting creatures, and I thought there was always a chance that this could happen. So we'll see. It's part of the process. It's part of why we're America. We try things. Maybe it'll work. Maybe we're totally not seeing something that's there, and a few years from now, things will be really good.
I'll tell you, though,
I don't know.
Something happened.
I am a glasses half full kind of guy.
Oh, that's good.
You're not.
No, mine's smashed against that wall.
Yeah, your glasses doesn't even have no liquid. You don't even have a glass.
I'm famished. I'm curled up in the fetal shitting myself.
Cup kind of guy.
So something happened to me this morning that I at first I'm like, am I misreading this reality right now? But I don't think I was. So I was in the Smart & Final this morning, doing a little grocery shopping. And you could tell that there was a very weird mood in the market alone. Just the few places I went out this morning, everyone's real quiet. People are trying to be nice to each other, but everyone's kind of just doing their own thing. So I get through markets pretty quick. I know what I want. I know where everything is. I do all the shopping all the time, so I go up to 3 markets in one trip now.
Wow. So
if I have to go to Trader Joe's, because we only eat Trader Joe's salsa, I'll make a salsa stop, and then I'll go to the Smart & Final for the produce, and then I'll go to the Vons to get the grilled chicken breast.
That is a pain in the ass.
It is the worst.
Oh, my God.
So
just the parking alone to go shopping.
I got my cart. I got a few groceries, and I'm just pushing my cart this morning. And I walk by the freezer section, and there's a dude. Look, what do I look like? I look like a white guy.
Yeah.
Fair to say?
Yeah, you're pretty white.
You're a little more exotic.
No, I guess.
You kind of get away with it.
All right.
But me, I look like a guy who'd vote for Trump. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah.
Especially the fact that I'm wearing camouflage shorts right now.
Do you have a Let's Make America Great Again cap?
One wouldn't fit my fat head.
Oh, okay.
So I walk by this guy, and he starts to open the freezer, and he looks at me, gives me the big browns. And I notice he's of Middle Eastern descent. And he starts to remove from the freezer big, giant bags of frozen crab. And he slams one into the cart while he looks at me. And I'm like, okay. And then he grabs 2 more. Slam, slam. And he's slamming this frozen crab so hard into the cart that it is deafening. It is a really loud crash. And it's starting to hurt my fucking ears. I'm like, I got to get away from this guy's crazy.
Right.
I swear to you, I turn back, and I'm kind of looking at him, and he's slamming the fucking crab in the cart. And he looks at me, and he goes, fucking asshole. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm wondering, I could be wrong.
Right.
But I'm wondering if just because he profiled me.
Right. He's projecting what happened. You are Donald Trump to him.
Yeah. I'm Donald Trump goes shopping at Smart & Final.
Right. And he thinks you're looking at him saying, what are you doing in my white grocery store?
Right.
Wow. I hope it doesn't get like that.
Listen, and then I started to imagine him killing me.
Oh, my God.
And getting my ass, handed to me by him and his buddies or something. I got nervous.
Wow.
Oh, my God, white guys are a target now, which is fine.
Is this before you bought your salsa?
I didn't have to go to Trader's this morning.
Oh.
But I wanted to say to him, dude, I voted for Hillary. Please, can we just hug?
Yeah, I hope that people don't, and this is human nature, that people put everybody in the same, paint everybody with the same brush.
Yeah.
And hopefully that Muslims don't think all white people now hate them.
Yeah.
Or that we all want them to leave, even if they are Americans, and that his attitude, or at least what he's been saying, I don't even think that he even believes what he's been saying.
Yeah.
But I hope that there's not everyone's on the defensive now.
Yeah. That
now instead of being all more united, that we're all going to be in suspect of each other. That would be awful.
It's so funny because I attribute this to being a stupid white guy. Like the whole Black Lives Matter movement, I didn't get it, but I get it now. But I kind of had some struggle with it.
Really? Why?
Because I understood that we've got some very, very, very bad policemen out there. Mm-hmm. And I understand that there is a persecution thing going on. I mean, seriously, black dudes are a target.
Yeah. And they're being slaughtered because. Yeah.
And it's crushing. And every story's different. And it's a little weird for me sometimes because I come from the other side. I have law enforcement in my family. My dad was a cop, etc. So I have to kind of think, well, what would I do in that situation as a police officer? And you only know so much, and you're only getting so much information. And some cases seem much worse than other cases. Like, yeah, well, that guy kind of should have just, not surrendered. What am I thinking? Complied.
Well, yeah.
But that guy clearly was just murdered in plain sight.
Right. I mean, if you have a toy gun, even though you know it's a toy, and you point it at a cop, I don't care what color you are. If it's me and I do that, guess what they're going to do to me? They're going to shoot me.
Right.
So you don't do that. But some people are just not doing anything.
Of course.
And they're being killed.
But the thing is, so I didn't understand when it first came out, like hashtag Black Lives Matter. And I was of that stupid mindset. Oh, well, all lives matter. Why are they special? Well, they are special because they're It's like a black people Holocaust.
Well, they're being targeted, seriously.
Yes, seriously, it's bad.
Yes.
I understood that. But I misinterpreted Black Lives Matter. I thought they were saying that they are a race. And they were embracing their black heritage, and they were that. So I started to think, oh, well, I thought we were all. I got very confused here. In my 40s,
Seriously,
I'm like, I thought we were all the same. Oh no, we're not the same. Black people are black people, and they like to be their race. But I, as a white guy, am not allowed to like my race. But then again, I don't really like white people. And, dude, I got so confused in my middle age. I'm like, I don't know what to think anymore.
Well, also, that paintbrush, I mean, I don't have any cops in my family, but also whatever cops make the news that are the killers of innocent people, all of the hundreds of thousands of cops that you don't hear about that are just doing their job every day, and they're great.
That's what makes me
and
mad.
They're not racist. I think it's the very small percentage.
We never see those stories.
You never see those stories because the small percentage make the news because it's titillating and the news wants ratings.
And I got to really tell you.
And I think most cops they just want to help people.
That's all they want.
And when the shit hits the fan, I don't care what nationality or race you are.
Yeah.
Who are you going to call? You know.
And I'll tell you something. These cops that are killed, like ambushed, like the ones in
terrible.
I mean, heartbreaking. But again, with my friends who are so extreme liberal, they don't post about that. Yeah. They don't post how terrible that these cops got killed.
Right.
They only post when it's how terrible.
Both sides are doing terrible things.
Terrible things.
And obviously, it's also the minority, the very small percentage, if it is a black person killing cops.
Yeah.
It's not like all black people are killing cops.
Yeah.
You know, black people are great. It's just you have to take every individual as an individual.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is just you as an individual living on Earth and in America. You just have to live your life in a loving, positive way.
A loving, positive way.
It's all you can do.
I love people. Even though I hate people, let's face it, deep down, I kind of love them in many ways. And I talk to them, and I get so excited. And what a great opportunity to talk to people that aren't white.
Right.
You know, and learn about their world.
Why don't you hate people with just a little love?
I like that.
Yeah.
I really seriously
What if you just
feel
love
like
your own
sand
hate?
all over my head.
Just love
There
your
you go.
hate.
I need more wine. How about you?
I could use some more wine.
Jesus.
What wine do we have today, Max?
Oh, I brought the Bordeaux from France.
Oh, this is a French Bordeaux that we're drinking.
You can get it. It's
really good.
At Traders.
It's really drinkable.
Good.
And
I didn't really have much time to go find a good red, so I always keep one of these in stock.
Were you going to buy some wine,
so to speak,
after the guy was slamming his crab?
Well, there I bought some Corbel, so I can have executive treat later.
Oh,
yeah.
So when we're done, you're going to open champagne by yourself.
When I go home, I'm going to drink alone and watch horror films.
Wow, that sounds a lot of fun.
and an executive treat, by the way, take a bottle of Prosecco, because if you're in California, you really shouldn't be calling it champagne. It's called sparkling wine. Pour that into a big red wine glass that's hopefully thick, because you don't want the ice to crack it, because you got to put ice in there. Here's the key ingredient, your blackberries. You throw those blackberries in there, keep pouring, keep drinking. When you're ready, those blackberries will have absorbed all that Prosecco.
Ooh.
So you can just pop those babies in your mouth. It's antioxidant, it's delicious, it's refreshing, and you'll get an even stronger buzz. Get it, go.
Are blackberries the preferred fruit of sparkling wine?
People are like, oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do that with blueberries. I can do that with raspberries. Well, then it's not a Max Koch brand executive treat.
Okay, so this is the Max Koch brand executive treat.
I'm just giving you a present for people who like sparkling wine, ice, and blackberries.
Well, it sounds really good.
Hey, how about some more?
You just
don't
poured
like
me
white
some.
wine.
I do. Well, I'm a red guy. Okay,
Right,
you take the rest.
Yeah, I am taking the
He's
rest.
pouring the rest into his cup right now.
I'm selfish that way.
You are.
Very selfish.
I have to say, looking at you right now, you look buff. You look kind of more physically fit than I've seen you. Are you working out, dude?
That's so embarrassing.
Yes. But you look good.
Yes.
I mean, people can't see you like I see you. You look like a nice, buff, white Trump supporter.
You said beefy when you walked in.
Well, you look
didn't say
beefy.
buff.
Well,
Beefy is...
But beefy is buff.
Beefy's fat to me.
No, it's not. Beefy is more like a studly, buffy guy.
My office was...
I would have said fat if I thought you were fat.
My office was finally complete. We've talked about my office. It's now... everything has a place.
It's the way you want it.
And it's
completely
wonderful.
organized.
Yes, and so I have weights in there.
Oh.
And any typical day. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Boom, I stop and I start doing weights.
Wow.
I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You know what? I'm just gonna do. I'm gonna do a little. What is this? What is this called that I'm doing?
Masturbating?
I'm moving my arm up and down.
Oh.
What am I doing here?
You're doing
presses.
Biceps.
Biceps. Okay, that's it. That's what I meant. So if I'm sitting there, on the phone or listening to someone, I'll grab a weight, do a little biceps. Kind of pepper in workout throughout the day.
Wow.
And then pepper in a lot of cardio throughout the day.
But if you have your phone in one hand, then one arm's going to get bigger than the other. So you're going to have to get a headset so you can do both arms while you're talking.
That's true. I could put them on speakerphone, so both arms would be...
Yeah, you're going to get one huge right arm. Yeah, exactly. You'll be Papa.
What do you got?
I got a gym at home.
No, I'm not talking about your fucking gym.
Whoa, what do you mean?
What do you got to talk about?
Oh, well, we're talking.
What'd you bring in?
I as usual, nothing.
Oh, Jesus.
I got nothing to bring in.
Well, you put the show up.
I put the show up.
It's out there.
Well, we can tell people at least how the show is going forward.
Yeah.
Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are on soundcloud.com. You can go to soundcloud.com/magazinepodcast. We are recently also on iTunes. You could find us on iTunes at Magazine Podcast, and you can be a subscriber and get our feed for all the new episodes. We're hoping to be on YouTube. And if you ever want to send us an email, you could send us a note, questions or comments at magazinepodcast@gmail.com.
Look at that.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're out there.
We're out there. We're trying to be pro. We're trying to get this.
We're trying. It's been trial and error. You've been figuring it out here in your studio?
Well, I have to be my own engineer.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like, talking, looking at you, looking at the computer, making sure everything is going well.
Yeah.
We don't have an intern or we don't have a helper.
Right.
So, it's kind of like we're a garage band. We're in my little garage here, so to speak, and we're just kind of, it's like we're like an indie band doing this, which is cool. I really like that part of it.
Let me ask you, what are you watching right now?
Right now, I have to admit, I'm not a huge TV watcher, but when I was a kid, the movie Westworld was a huge influence. I love that. The whole idea was great. Yul Brynner in the title role and how the robots went awry.
I love that film.
I am loving the new revamped Westworld. I think it's awesome.
That's great.
I think it's great. I think Hopkins as the evil controller of the whole world's great. The opening sequence, I think, is one of the best opening sequences of a TV show in a long time. The idea is great. The robot chicks are hot. I love that, the whole world is kind of up to a modern version of Westworld, but they're still keeping the whole vibe of the original true.
Yeah.
And, I think it's great. I'm really getting into it. And plus, obviously, there's layers and layers. They're trying to find the maze right now. You don't know what the maze is. You don't know what they're going to find at the end. Ed Harris is like, the guy who's this rich guy who's been there from the beginning, who's trying to find deeper meaning. He keeps on going back to Westworld. He's kind of like the villain. He's created his own villain character within this Westworld world. He's great. And I'm digging it. How about you?
Well, I only got 3 Westworlds in before all of a sudden I fell off it. I don't know why. I feel it's really unfair to the show, but it got really murky to me a little bit. Especially episode 2, I felt was really ponderous. And then episode 3 kind of fired me up again, and I was like, okay, I want to stick this out because I loved the first one so much. Mm-hmm. Talk about a hook.
Yeah.
Talk about grabbing me by the balls and pulling me in. I just need that consistency every week. I need things to ascend. If I'm going up the stairs of a show,
right,
I need it to keep building versus just dipping and taking these long stretches of weirdness that I don't understand. And so I got to get back to that thing. You got me inspired.
Well, let me ask you a question. The thing that you have to go back to the beginning. For me, the beginning is not this show. The beginning is from, what was the first show, in the mid-'70s, I guess?
Oh, the film?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a 1970.
So that's the beginning. So that's what hooked me. So I don't know if I would have been really into it if I didn't know that it already existed and that I had history with it.
Oh, I knew that film.
You're right. So, but let me ask you, we've talked about this before. You go back in your childhood, TV shows, films, what are the kind of films and TV shows that inspired you that went, oh, wow, this is really, really great, sort of opened your mind?
1973, Westworld, the film.
Wow. Went back that much. Well, that still had a big influence on me. But
Yeah.
what are your Westworld type films or TV shows?
Well, what's really sad is that I don't know if we covered this when we talked to my mom, but you know, if we're talking movies, like we had the Z Channel. Do you remember the Z Channel?
Yeah, we talked about that.
We did?
Yeah.
Well, I had that, so I was raised on the Z Channel because no one's home. So Z Channel is showing Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange. It's showing Midnight Cowboy. It's showing Caligula. I mean, these are the movies I was watching when I was 10.
Right. But all of the dark, gritty type stories are the things that really riveted you.
Yes.
Yeah. It was
at a very young.
It wasn't Disney.
Age.
It wasn't Son of Flubber. It wasn't.
Well, I liked
the computer wore tennis shoes.
It's funny. It's funny. I just sang Popeye because I think the Robert Altman film Popeye. I think that was my first ever mind-blowingly favorite film of all time.
Really?
Yes.
With Robin Williams as Popeye?
Correct. And it's so funny because I love that film so much that when I was going to Fulbright Elementary School, there was a talent show. And I said, I'm going to enter this thing, but I want to do a Popeye act. So I bought the soundtrack on vinyl, and I sang I Am What I Am, but I lip-synced it on stage. I got dressed up like Popeye. Mom took, like, black eyeliner and made anchors on my forearms.
I'm having this visual right now.
Yeah, I had a little sailor hat on. I had two of my friends be flunkies, and I sang, I am what I am, what I am, what I am, what I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor, and I am what I am, and I am. And I'm beating the guys up on, I choreographed the whole thing. Won first place.
Wow.
Someone who was at the school, who works out at the Hollywood Motion Picture Hospital in Calabasas, saw my little Popeye act and said, come, we are about to screen the film at the hospital for all the old Hollywood people. You are going to open the show. And you're going to do it like, it was a traveling act.
That's fantastic.
So I took that act to that hospital and performed it for 400 blue hairs in wheelchairs.
Oh, my God. Did anyone have a stroke while they were watching it?
That's funny.
Were you a hit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
So then I tried to keep capitalizing on the Popeye thing, and then it just died. But I was all into Popeye. So I think that film was probably the biggest childhood movie until A Clockwork Orange, which to this day is now my favorite film. But as far as television, I have to tell you, again, Mom's not home. It's 9 o'clock at night. Mom's not home. I'm a latchkey kid. I'm on my own. Mom's not home. You hear me? Look at me. Mom's not home. I'm all alone. Three's Company, dude.
Oh.
Three's Company made me discover my libido.
Joyce DeWitt?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
And I love that my mom said he was really more into Joyce. That was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Joyce was hot.
Yeah.
There's no question.
That show taught me how to have a boner. It taught me that women are sex objects, not all the time,
right?
But can be,
right? But they were, I mean, they had Chrissy. What was Joyce DeWitt's name in the show?
Janet.
Janet
Wood.
Yeah,
who gave me wood.
Right, but she was hot. They dressed her. They dressed her in hot pants.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of girls in the '70s.
Bosoms and my God, the sexual content of the show is crazy.
Of course, that was part of the draw.
And Jack Tripper was my fucking boy.
Oh, was he?
He was my man, and I used to go. My mom would take me to Sears, Montgomery Wards for back to school shopping, and I'd be standing over by the corduroy slacks with the matching corduroy vest and the plaid cowboy shirt, and she's like, "You want that?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's what Jack Tripper would wear."
Right.
So,
did you try to have your hair like him too?
Yeah, I had like
you had the Jack Tripper hair.
I had long hair, and I would pretend I'm Jack Tripper.
Did you have a Don Knotts wacky neighbor?
I tell you, I would pretend at school that I was Jack Tripper. Like, I would act like I'm clumsy, but I was never clumsy. But I would, like, trip over things in front of girls to try to make them laugh.
Right. Hoping that they would find that really endearing, like in the show, when they basically looked in and said, who the fuck is this guy?
Come and knock on a door.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because the first voiceover agent I had over at an agency that no longer exists called Acme Talent and Literary, I would have to drive down there. It was on Wilshire Boulevard. I'd have to drive down there for auditions. And I'm sitting there one day, minding my own business, looking over sides, and in walks Richard Klein, who played Larry Dallas.
Right.
And Richard Klein had dyed orange hair. And Richard, of course, is Robert's brother. And he sat down, and for me, it was like seeing
De Niro.
So I would like, I'd see him in the lobby, not see anything. Finally, one day, I slapped down the sides. I'm like, Richard, Can I just pick your brain about your time on Three's Company? And we would have epic Three's Company conversations.
He basically would acknowledge you, and he gave you his time.
He was great. He was great. He embraced the Larry Dallas thing.
Oh, that's great.
It wasn't like he was out doing Larry Dallas conventions. But
Right.
He was definitely cool talking about it.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, there are shows. I mean, for me too, where you sort of do discover your sexuality. You realize, I'm heterosexual. I really like these women are turning me on. Or I'm sure, obviously, for many people, people love Jack Tripper and realize, I guess I like guys.
Yeah.
No, it's all.
He was like my comedy god.
Right. And there were so many. For me, there was one. I might not remember. I mean, I'm older than you, so maybe it's before your time. But there was a show called Get Christy Love.
Never heard of it.
And it was, I don't remember the actress name, but she was really hot. And African-American girl with the big fro. This is the 70s. Big fro.
I love black
tight
chicks.
blouses, pink hot pants, and stiletto heels.
Ooh.
And she was a cop.
Ooh.
And she was a badass, hottie, crime. And I remember being a kid going, oh my God, she rocked my world.
Yeah.
She was so super hot. And the other one was a couple. Julie Newmar as Catwoman.
Sure.
Oh, man.
I thought her foreline,
tight leather thing.
Her hairline on her forehead was too high. That was the only thing that bothered me about it.
Well, you are a picky motherfucker. You're 10 years old thinking, she's hot, but got her hairline's a bit.
Yeah.
What? She was hot.
She was very hot.
And obviously Diana Rigg in The Avengers. Same kind of dynamic. You got her in the black leather. I mean, it's ridiculously hot.
Wow.
And I realized, I realized two things. I like girls. And I like boobs.
Yeah, you're a boob man.
Yeah, I kind of, I realized, that's
Do you like putting a woman's foot in your mouth?
No.
Toes?
No, I'm not into it.
No.
Are you?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Do you like sucking on toes?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not really a toe sucker.
I like toes. They obviously they can't have fuzzy. You know how toes get like sock fuzzy in the toenails?
Yeah, you don't want that.
They have to be washed.
No toe jams.
The feet have to be
washed.
Washed. I cannot
You
have
said
filthy
washed?
feet. And I cannot have fucking black bottom feet.
No.
I used to know theater chicks that used to walk around the theater with no fucking shoes on.
You're not sucking
and
on
the
those.
black bottom feet.
No.
Get that out of my life.
No, you don't want those toes
No,
in
I
your
don't want
mouth.
that.
No.
But,
you want a toe truck at that point.
All right, let me ask you. Lily Munster or
Yeah.
Morticia Addams? If you had to choose.
I'm actually thinking Morticia. Mm-hmm.
She's so beautiful. Carolyn Jones.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Plus the long black hair.
Yeah.
That kind of like exotic look. That's up my alley.
Yes.
They're just but that kind of stuff shapes you.
Yeah.
I am curious though, and I have never spoken to any like millennial or anyone in their 20s about what people in shows today are the new hotties. To me, they all look the same. I have no idea.
Who knows?
But back then, it sounds weird, but it was more innocent in a way.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just it influences you, and it tells you kind of who you are. You kind of discover yourself with those shows.
Absolutely.
It's
a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
And then I felt like I was raised by Archie Bunker, if we want to bring it all back around. I mean, I thought he was the greatest character in the history of television.
Well,
and I still feel that way outside of Tony Soprano.
Yeah. Yeah. He changed. I mean, that show couldn't even get on the air now.
Yeah.
I actually just recently I saw a biography on Norman Lear and his whole life. And
I was having a tough time with that one. But I started it, and I didn't like the way it was made.
He was an amazing guy, though. It showed you, what he did.
I got to get back into it.
Yeah.
Didn't you think it was made weird?
Well, it just, it kind of jumped around from him, and then he bought the Declaration of Independence, but he made All in the Family, and then that went into Good Times and the Jeffersons.
I only saw the first 15 minutes, so I got it. That's available for streaming on Netflix.
Yeah.
I think the reason I fell off Westworld also is because I got completely addicted to Ray Donovan.
Oh, I never saw that.
on Showtime.
Never saw it.
And let me tell you something. In the wake of... Okay, so I've got 3 favorite episodics. I got Twin Peaks, The Sopranos, Sons of Anarchy. Those are all gone. They're over. No show. And there's a lot of shows out there. I've tried with other shows. No show has come close to moving me and getting me so revved up as Ray Donovan since those shows. And it's a very simple premise. Come on. It's Sopranos on the West Coast. It's a guy who is involved in very shady dealings here in town. He's a fixer. He works for this weird firm, and they fix problems in Hollywood. Let's just say that. And he lives out in Calabasas with his Carmela and his 2 kids. I mean, it's literally the daughter and the son in a big, beautiful house, and there's problems with them. And they're all from Boston. And Ray has 2 brothers. There's Bunchy and Terry. And they work down at the Donovan Fight Club. So it's boxing. But guess what happens?
What?
Mickey Donovan gets out of town. Out of jail after 20 years. Mickey Donovan is played by John Voight. And he's an Irish gangster who gets out of jail and comes out to L.A. Ray, what are we doing? Hey, I want to be a part of the family again.
He's got a score to settle.
Oh, he is all kinds of trouble. I love it.
Never saw it.
Loved it so much
Yeah.
that I burned through the first 3 seasons and then watched a bunch of episodes with my sister. And then, because she came to visit. But then I started to show Nicole. Before I got to see, there's 4 seasons total. So I get to 1, 2, 3, and then I start to show Nicole, and she's all into it now. So we're almost done with the first season. So I'm holding off on the 4th season for my wife. Because unlike you, I'm not selfish that way. I will wait, and I bet you wouldn't do that for your wife.
No. Because I'm on my own anyway.
You're on your own. How come you guys are always on your own?
We don't like the same things. You and your wife have much more of a similar aesthetic than I do. Right. I like grit, and I like a lot of stuff that you like, which is why we're friends.
Didn't like our podcast.
She wants Bambi, and she wants dog videos, and she wants daffodils and kittens. Okay. So, but it's fun. So a lot of what I like, I'm on my own.
She doesn't go to the dark side.
No, not at all.
No.
I want to throw this out to anyone listening. If you email us, magazinepodcast@gmail.com. I want to know what shows, movies or TV, influenced you when you were a kid.
And we'll talk
male
about
or female. If you're listening, what characters made you realize, oh, I like guys, or I like this woman, or
that's great.
I think that this person's hot, and
that's
you kind of
fun.
discovered
that's
yourself,
fun.
discover your sexuality. What influenced you? Because there's a million things out there, different age groups, different shows, things I've never heard of. I want to know what really rocked your world. So let us know.
I love that idea.
Thank you.
And we'll go over them.
Now, I need to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Do you say idea or idea?
I'm not from back east.
No, because you just said, warshing.
Well, I did that deliberate.
Oh, you don't say warsh?
No, I just said that because it involved feet, and we were talking about Popeye and docks and the sea, and
all right.
I'm washing my feet. I'm washing my feet.
Because you threw me.
I say wash.
All right.
Come on.
You were throwing me.
I don't actually say wash.
I've never heard you. We never had that word in a conversation ever.
I gotta wash my balls.
All right, just ask it. I'm not judging you.
I'm washing my balls, and I'm washing my joint, and I'm washing my ass, and I'm washing my scoint. My scoint? What's a scoint?
You could wash your clothes, and during the washing, you could have an idea about something. It's fine. People, I just didn't know if that's the way you phrased things.
No, I didn't mean to throw you off there, buddy.
Okay. No, you didn't throw me off. It just,
take it easy.
Hey, we're fine here.
Everyone just breathe.
We're fine.
We're very tense. We're in a post-Obama world now.
Well, I need a glass of wine. Here we go. Cheers, everybody.
Whee!
Well, Max?
Yes?
This was riveting.
I feel like we can talk about anything.
Well, we kind of can, but why don't we talk about anything in the future?
Okay.
And now we're going to say, this was great.
Yeah.
Thanks again for listening.
Yes.
I'm Lorenzo Scott.
I'm Max Koch. Go to maxcookuncorked.com. That's Koch, by the way.
You got a blog.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a life experience mixed with wine pairings. It's really cool.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And the name of it again is?
maxcookuncorked.com.
Go there. Have a good time. And I really like it. I go there all the time.
You do?
I do. Yeah, never told you that.
No. You should just register.
You're right. I should. Or I could just talk to you. Or if I get it, I can maybe do it after I do my wash.
No more miracles, loaves and fishes. Been so busy with the washing of the dishes.
To bring it all back to Gabriel.
You brought it back together. Look at you. You tied it in a fucking bow.
I know how to broadcast.
Everybody, thanks for listening. It was fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay. Any closing thoughts?
No, I'm done.
Okay, we have no closing thoughts for you, ladies and gentlemen.
I have to go sit in traffic now.
Oh, you're going to go home?
And the same thing happened when I was doing Mimosa with Adam, the other show. instead of seeing him socially, I only saw him anymore when we were doing the show. So, like, we're not going to have any more of our guys' day in.
No, we're not.
Because we're too busy.
Because we're saving it for this. Why would we go talk now without recording it? It doesn't make any sense.
That's what happened to Adam and I. It got to the point where we'd have phone conversations that were so... We thought, because we're idiots, we thought they were so interesting. We're like, why aren't we recording this?
That's right. So now it's not worth it to waste all the verbiage without it getting on in the computer.
It becomes a drug.
Is this now a drug for you?
For you.
Well, it is kind of
It's
for
always
me.
been a drug for me.
Yeah, this is great.
This is what I do.
All right. It's cool. I mean, I'm Joesin right now. I need to get my shot.
I want you to bring in the next guest.
All right, maybe I will.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll try to get a guest for next time.
Okay.
All right, we will. And on that note...
All right. Enough already.
Max, it's been great.
Watch Westworld.
Watch Westworld.
Watch Ray Donovan.
Let us know TV shows and films with characters that just sexually rock your world. We want to know. And we'll talk about it next time. And thanks for listening, and we'll see you later.